Coming up on Lexington Now, Phoenix Forward, walking downtown, and bicycle safety. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. Roberts, and welcome to another edition of Lexington Now, where we give you an inside look at what's going on around the urban county government. Phoenix Park is offering some family-friendly fun this summer, and it's open to everyone. It's called Phoenix Forward.
So Phoenix Forward is just an opportunity for people to gather in Phoenix Park and of all different backgrounds or different places from across the county and the city to enjoy some time outside this summer. It's an underutilized park, and so we wanted to find some ways that could attract people down here.
You know, part of our initiative with the Phoenix Forward project is to revitalize Phoenix Park and increase our partnership with the Lexington Public Library. It's really a way to incorporate not only the library in the park, but it's a way to allow our downtown residents, our folks who work downtown, passers-by through the park, to be able to get more use of the space.
So we are looking at Phoenix Forward. We presented this to the Knight Foundation as part of the Knight Cities Challenge as a way to bring more energy and livelihood into these spaces. And like Monica said, we really want these to be great public spaces that everybody can enjoy, be that through the dog park or the family programming or the adult programming after hours, which is really kind of geared towards the young professional community. We really wanted to make these spaces more functional and inviting for everybody.
The public spaces downtown are really what helps knit the city together, and so it's important that we pay attention to those and help activate those and actively manage them, both as resources for the people, the workers, the community, the visitors, and everyone that's passing through our downtown. And so it really, a project like this just gives us an opportunity to test out new ways to do that, and helps us kind of link together our other partners like the library, the other surrounding businesses, the farmers markets on Saturday, a block away. For June and July this summer, Tuesdays through Thursdays, and on Saturdays, there's going to be a variety of different events, both in the park and in the library. And so on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, there'll be different activities for after work in the park.
There'll be a beer garden and programming from 4 to 8 for our young professionals.
On Thursdays, there'll be more of a family atmosphere with inflatables, face painting to kind of coordinate with Thursday Night Live.
And on Saturdays, the Downtown Public Library will be working to program in the park and offer activities for kids and petting zoos and lots of fun activities.
As part of Phoenix Forward, Central Library has created a Discovery and Play Lab on the Central Library's second floor. That space is open daily. It will have weekly rotating activities. It has areas designed for babies and toddlers, areas designed to do different STEAM and artistic programming with children, and then also some gross motor skills. So the hope is that children and families can come downtown, be it for a farmer's market or a library program or whatever activities that appeal to them, and be able to learn and stay downtown a little bit longer and experience all the great things that Lexington has to offer. So all of these programs will be going on weekly throughout June and July. The biggest thing is to check out facebook.com/Phoenix Forward. We'll have daily updates there with weather and current list of programming.
For more information about this program, you can log on to the city's website. It's lexingtonky.gov. Well, it seems that just about everybody knows that cell phones and driving are a dangerous combination. But there's another danger that's not so quite clear-cut. It's walking while texting or emailing or candy crushing. And a new campaign has been launched to alert people to the dangers of walking while distracted.
I work in traffic engineering, and we were we're a part of a pedestrian safety working group, which includes different divisions within city government. This is one facet of kind of the 3E approaches that we've tried to have, which is engineering, enforcement, and education. So this is the education portion of that approach to pedestrian safety. Well, what's going on today is we're trying to do kind of a guerrilla involvement of getting pedestrians involved with a marketing campaign of pedestrian safety. So this particular portion of this is cell phone usage is kind of on the rise, so we're hoping to encourage basically eye contacts and awareness of your surroundings. So when you approach an intersection or approach a crosswalk, you make eye contact with the drivers or the vehicles, and just in general be aware of your surroundings. So we have different messages, 3 different messages that we're allowing the citizens to chalk paint down on sidewalks at different areas near the downtown area. We've had, in my opinion, a great turnout. We're actually almost out of paint. I think there's been over 40 people that have come and gone. Some have come on their lunch break, painted, gone out a few different spots, come back. We've had a couple families, so I think it's been a really good turnout.
And while we don't recommend navigating the internet while walking, we do recommend navigating the streets downtown on foot. And did you know that there are wayfinding signs throughout downtown that are designed to help pedestrians, and they make downtown more walkable than ever?
Have you ever been walking around downtown and tried to find your way around and wish there was something that could lead you in the right direction? Well, now there is. Installation has started on new wayfinding signs designed to make Lexington a more walkable and pedestrian-friendly city. More than 50 signs will be installed at 25 major intersections throughout the downtown core during the first phase of the Walk Lex program. During the second phase, at least 64 additional signs will go up at 32 intersections near the University of Kentucky and Transylvania. All the signs are expected to be installed within 4 to 6 weeks. The signs will give pedestrians directions to major landmarks or districts, and they will indicate how long it will take to walk there, such as Rupp Arena is a 4-minute walk from a certain location. The Walk Lex program will also be key to helping visitors navigate the city. The idea began in 2013 as a pilot project under Leadership Lexington, a leadership training program. For more information about the Walk Lex signs, please visit downtownlex.com.
For more information, you can visit the city's website. It's lexingtonky.gov. And coming up after the break, bike safety.
Hello, I'm Detective Mark Thomas with the Lexington Police Department. You may also know me from Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about a new texting system that we have available through any smartphone. In the body of your message, you can text LexPD plus your tip to crimes. When you're submitting anonymous information, we ask that you include several things that would help us conduct the investigations more thoroughly, such as a person's name, their home address, possible license plate numbers, any other people involved, or why you think that they're conducting the type of activity that you believe that they are. All of those things, no matter how small you believe they could be, are relevant to the investigation. So please include those. So remember, you can send your anonymous tip information either through text, you can call the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line at 859-253-2020, or you can go online to bluegrasscrimestoppers.com. Thank you.
Cigarette butts are the #1 most littered item in Lexington. Filters in cigarettes are not biodegradable like an apple core. They can take up to 25 years to decompose. Please put your butts where they belong. Don't trash the bluegrass.
Welcome back to the show. Before the break, we told you all about walking in downtown, and now we're shifting gears to biking. There are many amenities around town for bikers, but there are also some hazards associated with pedaling around.
When riding bicycles downtown Lexington, or anywhere for that matter, there are special traffic considerations cyclists must adhere to.
My name is Howard Florence. I'm a police officer downtown in Lexington. I've been with the department for 22 years. When you're on a bike downtown, we do encourage that you use the streets. The bicycle lanes are well marked, the streets are well paved. There's some hazards associated with that, as would be anywhere you're on the street. Watch for parked cars pulling out, watch for people exiting their cars, watch for the doors opening up, kind of a thing. Watch for pedestrians, they may step out between cars in your path. Make sure you signal your intentions to the motorist if you're changing lanes or making turns. And one of the most important things is to make sure that you stop for the red lights. Especially downtown, the cars are going to trip the lights. You're not going to have to wait very long. It's a safety issue, and it is the state law that as a cyclist on the road, you're bound by the same laws that govern vehicles. So stopping for the red lights is highly encouraged. When you're riding in the street downtown, always make sure that you're going with traffic. You don't want to ride against traffic. Stay to the right as much as you can. If you find yourself riding on the sidewalk, obviously that creates a whole other set of hazards for you and for pedestrians. Pedestrians always have the right of way. So if you find yourself on the sidewalk, some things to look out for: don't get too close to the buildings. People could be stepping out or opening a door on you. And just the simple fact that pedestrians move so much slower than anybody that would be on a bicycle, you're always going to catch up to them. So if you're catching up to a pedestrian walking, their backs to you, they're not going to know you're there. So if you have a bell on your bike, you might want to just give that a little friendly ring, or just give a kind greeting just so that they know that you're there. And then make sure you still give them enough space, because when they react to you, it still may startle them, and you may not know how they're going to react. They may step into your path. So I just want to emphasize, pedestrians, they always have the right of way. And also watch for cars that are maybe pulling in and out of the parking garages. They're not really expecting a bicycle to be coming down, maybe, because like I said, you're going to be moving a lot faster than a pedestrian would be. So just make sure you're watch out for that. BikeLexington.com is a very good resource. It has links to the state laws for bicycling as well as the city ordinances.
This time of year, severe weather can strike at just about any time. Tim Brandowy with Emergency Management gives us some tips on weathering the season. Severe weather can strike at any time, but especially this time of the year.
One of the things that we focus on a lot this time of year, obviously, are destructive spring storms. Historically, our worst storms generally happen from about late January to about late May, when we get the warm fronts come through and spawn off very often tornadoes. The best defense you have against destructive weather, especially this time of year, is awareness. And with the advent of 24-hour weather stations, but more importantly, personal electronic devices, the ability to keep track of weather as it moves and as it threatens has greatly increased.
And he adds that having a weather radio is an absolute must.
The single biggest thing that we really recommend that every household have is a NOAA weather radio. These weather radios will be automatically activated by the National Weather Service in the event of approaching dangerous weather. These new systems are great. I know that if people have had some of the older ones, they used to go off all the time for, every storm from Paducah to Pikeville. But with the technologies of the new ones, you can narrow it down right to your county.
Brandewee says it's especially important during the springtime because storms can come right during the middle of the night.
The siren systems we have in the city are only designed to warn people that are outside. And so if you're inside your house and it's late at night or you're in bed, the single best way to be alerted of the approach of very dangerous weather would be to procure a NOAA weather radio. They're available at Walmart's, Kroger's, Radio Shacks. We recommend that every family maintain one.
Brandewee says it's better to be safe than sorry.
Try to maintain a kit at your house, to be somewhat self-sufficient for a day or two. Our website, on the Fayette County Emergency Management website, we have some readiness tips about what to keep in a kit: a radio, a flashlight, some water, perhaps prepare for extended power outages, and have a plan.
If you choose not to make a kit at home, you should at least read up on some of the steps you can take to be safe inside of your home.
You should always get to the lowest point in your house, the furthest away from any opening to the outside, doors, windows, whatever. Of course, if you have a basement, basement's obviously the best place to go. Again, you just kind of want to get away from the outside in case things start to blow around and try to avoid injury that way. But otherwise, our primary thing that we try to tell the citizens is be aware.
Victims of violent crime can often feel isolated and alone in their struggle. But did you know that the Lexington Police has an office specifically aimed at offering support to those victims? It's called the Victims Advocates Office.
I know it's a very traumatic thing that you've been through, and I want to make sure that you know that there are people out there that will help you.
Melinda Weathers is a victims advocate for the Lexington Division of Police. She and two others help victims whose lives have been affected by abuse.
We handle primarily domestic violence and sexual assault cases. We are expanding the program and starting to do a little bit more with elder abuse and vulnerable adults. When the police are called to a scene of either domestic violence or sexual assault, a report is taken. We get that report and we initially make phone contact with the victims. So basically what that looks like is we'll call them up and just say, I got this report, just wanted to check on you and see how you're doing and see what kind of services they might need. A lot of people don't even realize that there are any services available. They're just like, the police are gone now and I don't know what to do.
The advocates can also meet with the victims one-on-one to provide aid and share resource information. Some resources are outside of the Division of Police.
We work a lot with our community partners like the Sheriff's Office to get them protective orders filed, the county attorney if there's criminal charges that are going to come with the case, the shelter, Greenhouse 17, if they need a safe place to stay. So just a lot of different community agencies coming together to help these victims.
Advocate Letitia Hagerman says each case is unique, and so must her approach be to helping.
Wherever they are in their crisis, we just do our best to empathize with them and put ourselves there, and we offer whatever resources are available given their situation.
That includes helping victims who don't speak English.
Special Victim Section, this is Letitia.
We do utilize a service, it's called the Language Line. So what we do, if we get a report and it looks like that person needed an interpreter at the scene, before we call them, we hook up with the Language Line and they make the call, and we have a conversation through an interpreter about what resources are available.
In addition to helping victims personally, they also help them to understand the criminal process. Many victims' abusers have been arrested and are facing prosecution. Understanding these procedures can be tough.
These are new words for people. They're like, what's a preliminary hearing? What's a pretrial? What's the grand jury? So we try to get in there as soon as we can and start explaining that to them.
Advocate Weathers says she and her two partners can be viewed as tour guides of the system. From getting information about a victim situation from detectives who are handling the criminal case to finding resources to help victims and their families, the advocates are on the job.
Yes.
We've got a lot going on in the urban county government this week, as always, and there will be several televised meetings, including the Planning and Public Safety Committee, the Council Work Session on Tuesday, and the Police and Fire Pension Board on Wednesday. You can also catch these meetings and other programming by watching Channel 3 or online at lexingtonky.gov. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Lexington Now. We'll return next week with more news from your urban county government, but in the meantime, you can keep up with what we're doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also get 24/7 traffic updates by following us on Twitter. Our handle for that is @LexRex. Or if you're one of those people who likes to see exactly what's going on, you can see our live interactive traffic cameras. They're on the city's website. You know where to find us, lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers at GTV3, I'm Sherelle Roberts, and that's it for now.
The preceding program was produced through the facilities of GTV3.